CyberHub bunker and studio. You're tuning in to the CyberHub podcast. And now for your host and CISO, James Azar.
Hey folks, good morning. Happy Tuesday. I hope y'all are doing well. January 19th, 2021. A lot of things to talk about today, including a massive SolarWinds update. SolarWinds. I haven't said it for one full day on the Practitioner Brief since the breach took place. So I had a break from SolarWinds yesterday. SolarWinds back in the news today. We'll talk about that as well. Before we get started, though, today's episode is supported by our friends over at KnowBe4 and Wistic. Make sure to check them out. They are linked below in the comments. If you're watching us live on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, good morning. You can comment, say good morning, hello, how y'all doing this wonderful, amazing, beautiful January day in the greatest nation on earth. So you can do that as well. A few housekeeping things. Please subscribe if you're watching us right now. If you're watching us live, please do so and share this video with your friends and colleagues. It helps boost us up. If you're listening on your favorite podcast listening platform after we've done this live, which is daily at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, you should subscribe now on your favorite podcast listening platform and give us a 5-star rating. Good morning to Alex. What's happening, Alex? Good morning from the States to Alex, my friend over in Israel. So good morning. All right, so let's get right into today's practitioner brief. A lot of things to talk about. Let's get right into this SolarWinds hack that's now more, like I said, it's a gift that's going to keep on giving for a very long period of time. But before I do that, I almost forgot my ceremonial coffee sip with y'all. You guys, come on now. So a little espresso for the morning. Beautiful blue sky in Georgia. I couldn't agree more, Cindy. I really couldn't agree more. And I'm going to have an espresso while we enjoy the beautiful blue sky in Georgia today. It is a lovely morning. So let's get right into the SolarWinds thing, because it's a really the gift that keeps on giving. This is Edward Kovacs reporting for Security Week. So the threat group behind the supply chain attack that targeted SolarWinds now has an update according to Symantec. Symantec reported yesterday that they were able to discover a new backdoor called Raindrop. Did a little bit of research on this as it came out. Raindrop is attributed to Russia and historically has been used by Russian APTs. So it appears like right now we can lay to rest that most of the investigation is leading down the Russian path at this point period in time, simply based on the 4 different strains of malwares that have been discovered in SolarWinds. So my initial theory of it could be a Russia-China project may be proven wrong altogether. It seems to be Russian at this time. So Raindrop allows the attackers to actually move laterally within a network, which is significant because that's how they're getting outside of the SolarWinds Orion platform and moving into other network, other apps and other business processes within the network. So according to the Symantec in their blog post, they said that Raindrop appears to have been used for spreading across the victim's network. Symantec has seen no evidence to date of Raindrop being delivered directly by Sunburst. Instead, it appears elsewhere on the networks where at least one computer has already been compromised by Sunburst. So again, this is almost a backup to something that they were originally doing here. Kaspersky recently found a link between the Sunburst malware and Kazwar, a piece of malware previously connected to the Russian cyber spy group known as Turla, another significant Russian APT. So keeping an eye out on that. I'll be researching a little bit more on Raindrop today. I know several people on the team are doing a little bit more research on it, so that tomorrow maybe we can give you a little bit more facts on Raindrop itself. So stay tuned. You'll want to be here tomorrow as we talk about that. Let's move to another story on our practitioner brief today, where the FBI is now warning of vishing attacks, stealing corporate accounts. So phishing, one thing, vishing, for those who are new to it, is essentially a voice phishing attack. I call your phone number and I pretend to be from the help desk or from somewhere from a trusted entity and get you to go to a website, a landing page, and enter your credentials. And the FBI is now saying that They're seeing an increase in vishing attacks. And you got to remember, so overall, when you look at this, vishing was going to be a natural part of work from home and COVID. Simply because now people like help desk isn't sitting in the same building. You're at home, help desk is somewhere else at home. And if someone calls you from help desk somewhere else, you're going to respond to it and you're going to cooperate. You're not going to think twice of it, especially if it's from a trusted network. Here's something after reading this that we're exploring of doing is creating almost a help desk code word per se for different departments over a period of time. So if we do fall victims to vishing, we might be able to address it. It's not very convenient. There's obviously other things that you could take in place. For example, doing a two-way verification. So if someone calls you from help desk, you verify who they are, they verify who you are, and so forth. That's another aspect for vishing as well. In another story today, a new FreakOut botnet is targeting Linux system running unpatched software. So the botnet comes with features that can be used for DDoS attacks, ARP poisoning, hidden crypto mining, launching brute force attacks, and much, much more. This was first seen in November of 2020. The FreakOut botnet has surfaced again in a series of attacks this month. Its current targets include TerraMaster data storage units, web applications built on top of the Zend PHP framework, and websites running the LifeRay portal content management system. All three vulnerabilities are fairly recent, which means there's a high chance that FreakOut exploitation attempts are succeeding, as many systems could still be lagging behind on their patches. We talked about patches yesterday. I hate to repeat it each and every single day, but patching is extremely hard, and some people always comment and say, well, it can't be that difficult. You just update. Not really. There's a lot more complexities. So the CVEs that are being taken advantage of, just so you folks know, and if you're running any of the systems that it's able to take advantage of, you may want to prioritize this at this point. It's CVE 2022-8188, CVE 2021-3007, and CVE 2020-7961. Once the FreakOut bot gains access to a system, it's an immediate step is to download and run a Python script that connects the infected devices to a remote IRC channel where the attackers can send commands and orchestrate a varied list of attacks using the enslaved devices. According to the researchers, the FreakOut bots can run includes the likes of gathering info on infected systems, creating and sending UDP and TCP packets, executing telnet brute force attacks using a hard-coded credential, running a port scan, executing an ARP poisoning attack on the device local network, opening a reverse shell on the infected host, and killing local processes, and much, much more. You can find more of this. This is courtesy of ZDNet this morning as well. Finally, our last piece of news for this morning's practitioner brief is the IObit forum that was hacked to spread ransomware to its members. So for those who don't know, the IObit is a software developer known for Windows system optimization and anti-malware programs, such as advanced system care. Over the weekend, a bunch of members who were part of the forum but were not real members started getting an email that said they're entitled to a free 1-year license. And I have a saying that we all have a saying, and it's the same exact saying, folks. If something is too good to be true, it probably is. Here are many people. It was a 2-day, again, all the tattletale signs of a successful phishing attack. 1, trust. Number 2, limited period of time. Number 3, a very, very good offer. And so the link actually redirected to a part of the website that is trusted as well. And then from there, it took them down the phishing and vishing to get a zip file downloaded with malware, and as such take over those devices. So keep your eye out for that. If you know anyone in your organization that does use this forum that may have fallen victim to that, VirusTotal does have a bunch of resources available to deal with it. That's it for our practitioner brief today, folks. We're all set tonight. 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The Other Side of Cyber, the Untold Stories with my very, very good friend and awesome JJ. For all of our Asia Pacific friends in Australia and Asia Pacific, that's 11 a.m. Wednesday morning, Sydney time. JJ and I today are going to be kicking off episode number 2 of our show, talking about a breach that impacted over 88 million people and was extremely sophisticated in how they used the victim of the crime to victimize the victims, the additional victims of the crime, and so forth. A very, very interesting story. You don't want to miss it. That's live tonight on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, folks, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to want to tune in to that. That's it for us here. We'll be back with a lot more tomorrow. Until then, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for watching and listening. And until then, folks, stay healthy and stay cyber safe.
We love feedback, so make sure to connect with us on social media and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform.